Straight ahead on 12 News, where's the beef? Ask a Maple Grove man, and he'll tell you retirement. Then a place in Corcoran where hope is alive.
There are a lot of people throughout the community of Corcoran that are supporting this in many ways.
But first, as kids head back to school, we take you to a busy and necessary stop in Golden Valley. 12 News starts right now. Some Minnesota families may have vaccinations on their back-to-school list.
Starting Monday, changes to Minnesota's immunization laws take effect, impacting students entering the 7th grade. Sonia Goins has more on those changes.
Before students roll into the classroom next week, they might need to roll up their sleeves.
Good job up there.
HCMC's Golden Valley Clinic has been pretty popular this week.
We have been so busy with kids coming in for vaccines.
The new vaccine law requires students entering the 7th grade get the vaccine for tetanus, diphtheria, bacterial meningitis, and whooping cough.
It's really important that we protect kids against whooping cough.
Health officials are targeting the preteen years because the vaccine for whooping cough starts to wear off around 10 and 11 years old. In 2012, the number of whooping cough cases in Minnesota hit an all-time high. That year, there were over 4,000 cases. This year, 665 cases were reported.
With the surge in whooping cough being all over the state, because people aren't getting the vaccines, this creates more kids that are experiencing this and therefore needing more antibiotics to treat this disease.
Whooping cough is a highly contagious lung infection and is sometimes fatal.
It can lead to respiratory distress.
Even though the health department is recommending parents get their children vaccinated, some parents are just not on board with the plan.
It's very safe to give kids vaccines. It's the MMR vaccine that parents were very concerned about, and that is completely safe to be giving kids.
In Golden Valley, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
Kids enrolled in early childhood programs must also have proof that they are current on their vaccinations. Children over 2 months old are now required to get the hepatitis B vaccine, while kids over 2 years old must have hepatitis A. Parents who don't want to get their children vaccinated have to provide a school with a notarized exemption form.
It was a common scam last spring, and Brooklyn Park police say it's not going away. Police say scammers are posing as utility company or IRS employees, warning victims of unpaid bills. They instruct victims to pay off their debt by purchasing reloadable debit cards. Victims are told to call back with the 14-digit serial code used to drain funds from the card. Police say the scam was reported several times last week. A $1,000 reward is now offered to help find the arsonist who set fire to brand new playground equipment in Plymouth earlier this month. The equipment was stacked and ready to be assembled at Plymouth Creek Park when someone set it on fire. The loss is estimated at more than $200,000. Anyone with information can call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS, and you can remain anonymous.
Labor Day weekend travel will be slightly less expensive this year. Prices are down 21 cents per gallon of regular unleaded gasoline compared to last year. In fact, they are the lowest for a Labor Day weekend since 2010. The average price is $3.36 in the Twin Cities, and we found gas around the Northwest Metro selling for $3.29. Truck drivers driving through Maple Grove now have real-time parking information to help them find a place to rest. A series of cameras will monitor parking availability at 3 rest stops along Interstate 94. A highway sign will alert truckers whether the lot is full. Under federal law, truck drivers must stop and rest after 11 hours of driving. By year's end, there will be a new community center in the city of Corcoran.
You won't find this community center, however, on the city's main drag. Instead, this new facility will be in the heart of an often overlooked community, a mobile home park.
Many people do not know this place exists.
The sign at the entrance of Hennepin County's largest mobile home park signals a special day. The smiles are what says it all.
It's our desire that this building will be a place of hope.
After years of work, the earth moves to make room for a 3,600 square foot community center that will serve up hope for more than 200 families who call Maple Hill Estates home.
Homework help is probably our biggest focus that we'll be doing every day with the children here. There's a workout room. There's going to be a computer lab. About 40% of the park does not have internet access.
Jill Dejewski and her husband Brian got the project rolling with their nonprofit, Mobile Hope. But it took a whole community to see it through.
There are a lot of people throughout the community of Corcoran that are supporting this in many ways, including financial support.
$355,000 was raised for this community center, and a donation of land came from Barry Hay, who owns this mobile park.
Donating the land, to me, is just a small little part. I mean, for what they had to do to get this building, you know, I see my part as just a small little piece.
There are no small pieces in a project that aims to better a community. This Center for Hope begins here today, and for other mobile communities, maybe tomorrow.
And it's our dream that we can replicate this in other mobile home communities.
The center should be finished by January 1st. Fundraising for the project continues, and we have more information about the project on our website, 12.tv.
A college student from Brooklyn Park has the chance to win a scholarship from an unlikely source.
My name is Daisha.
And my name's Avion.
And my mom
And my dad
met on Match.com.
Daisha Fournier is a student at the University of Wisconsin-La Crosse. She's one of 5 finalists with a chance to win a $50,000 scholarship from Match.com's Match Made Scholarship Contest. And she owes it all to the fact that her parents met on the site 10 years ago.
It would just make things so much, easier, and I'd be able to kind of focus on less of the money and more of the education type of it. Because, I work while I'm in school, so, that would be nice to be able to focus on my studies.
The contest ends on Monday, and the finalist with the most shared videos on social media will win the $50,000 scholarship. Imagine that,
That's right.
$50,000, wow. Coming up, a retirement hobby that keeps you moving at the State Fair.
And then a little bit later in sports, the football teams at Champlin Park and Park Center score impressive wins.
But first, what should be a nice, comfortable Labor Day weekend.
The Minnesota State Fair is a place to celebrate the biggest and best of the state, but one exhibit in the Eco Experience building wants to highlight what we throw away. The largest wad of paper represents recyclable paper Minnesotans throw away, get this, every 20 seconds.
We wanted something big and dramatic, and we found out that Guinness Book of World Records doesn't have a current record for largest wad of paper, so we went after that, and we don't know yet if we got it. We'll know after the fair. It takes a while, but it's all sent in.
The exhibit also highlights jobs and items that can be produced with recycled products. It is a sign of the times. Farms are disappearing from the edge of the metro area.
But we found one Maple Grove man who rekindles his agricultural roots every year at the Minnesota State Fair, and 12 News reporter Shannon Slatton explains why.
When they're chewing their cud like that, that means they're happy. They feel good.
Inside a back barn in the corner of the State Fair,
Got a lot of cattle still coming in.
you'll find part of what keeps the fair true to its roots. But to be a part of the in crowd here, you need one of these.
It's called a senior heifer calf, shorthorn beef.
And Jim Perry of Maple Grove has one.
Yeah, her name is Mackenzie.
And last year's prize down here,
This is P.S. Rachel Evie. Evie was my mother's name.
and one he knows over here.
Her dad is Bonanza. That's why he's Little Joe. His brother last year was Ben Cartwright.
It's a small world in the Shorthorn Cattle Barn.
It's kind of a social event. Everybody knows each other.
Woo, go Shorthorns!
And Jim Perry can work the crowd
Red, white, and roan.
and their cattle.
There's your sample right there. Take a picture of them cattle there.
One of the most common questions Jim gets is, where is there a cattle farm in Maple Grove, Minnesota? His answer is actually in the name of that farm, Got No Ranch.
We actually live on Weaver Lake Drive, and I was going to put it on my mailbox, but I decided not to get it carried away.
When Jim retired from coaching football, his wife suggested he get a few cows.
I think someday she's sorry she said that.
So he keeps a few Shorthorn cattle at a farm in Buffalo.
I take the grandkids out my city friends.
And at the end of the summer, he hopes to have a heifer ready for the fair.
It's like a hobby, but it's a serious hobby.
If not for the ribbon, definitely for the fun.
That works just fine, and that's just it.
At the State Fair, Shannon Slatton, 12 News.
Jim won't know whether his heifer Mackenzie won a ribbon until after the judging on Saturday morning. That is kind of a neat hobby, isn't it?
That is right. A lot of community there.
Oh, yeah. Well, speaking of hobbies, coming up, we found one that will make your head spin.
But first in sports, our final football preview as we check in with the Breck Mustangs. John Jacobson is in next.
Well, I imagine Champlin Park wasn't too happy with their season last year. They wanted to do better, and so far, off to a good start this year.
Against a rival team, a team they've had some great games with over the years, and it's certainly nice to win this one at home. Champlin Park's football team won just 3 games last fall. Rebels think they'll be better in 2014, and they set out to prove it in their season opener Thursday night against Blaine. First quarter and an 80-yard Rebels drive is capped off by Max Biegert's touchdown pass to Scott Bowe, and it's 7-0. Second quarter, Griffin Fussey's pass is intercepted by Champlin Park's Hunter Yerkes. The Rebels take over at the Blaine 46. On the ensuing drive, Biegert is forced out of the pocket, but he makes a great throw on the run to Nick Hayes. It's a touchdown and 17-0 Rebels. Late second quarter, the CP defense comes up big. Trevor Long gets the pick 6 here to make it 24-0 Champlin Park. They roll to an impressive 31-13 victory over Blaine. Park Center was one of the teams with a 0-week game last week, and the Pirates opened with a 27-21 win over Richfield. They tried to make it 2 for 2 as they hosted Bloomington Kennedy live on Channel 12 Thursday. Park Center's defense plays well. Shannon Brooks with the diving interception here on Kennedy's first possession. Later in the first quarter, Lawrence Ugunte finds Adam Burge up the seam, and it's a touchdown. Start of another good game for that duo. Second quarter, and Ugunte hits Amani Hooker, who breaks a couple of tackles to reach the end zone. And that score makes it 14-0 Park Center early in the quarter. Brooks gets in on the fun on offense. He protects the ball from the defender to score the Pirates' third TD to make it 21-0. After a Kennedy score, a completion to Burge to the 1-yard line sets up Rondé Barber for a TD in the in the final seconds of the half. Park Center rolls to a 42-7 win, and they move to 2-0 for the first time since 1996. Now you can watch that game again Saturday at 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. here on Channel 12. Cooper, Osseo, Totino, Grace, and Wayzata were the other local teams to win Thursday night. A few prep football teams from the area don't open play until tonight, including Breck. In our final prep football training camp report, we take a look at the Mustangs.
John Martin admits he coaches with emotion. After 7 years as the Mustangs defensive coordinator, Martin now will bring that passion as the team's head coach.
Football's an emotional game. I want our guys to play with emotion, play within themselves and play with emotion. And I feel like, that's something that we can interject. We've got a really good group of kids right now that are ready to make that change. And a lot of that is player driven.
He's really brought up the intensity, and he's just bringing Breck football up again. And I think that's what we've been lacking these last couple of years. And I think he's just done an awesome job of getting everyone excited, get everyone on board. And we've really just created one goal for everyone to win and succeed.
The Mustangs' numbers aren't what they were in the early 2000s, but the roster does have some good talent on it. Senior quarterback Graydon Kulik is a 2-year starter who threw 19 touchdown passes a year ago. Kwaku Bodum is also a senior and a 4th-year varsity player who will play both fullback and linebacker this fall. Lineman Karsten Salveson and receiver defensive back Ramon Bowman are among the other Mustangs who have seen plenty of varsity play in the past year or two.
Having a lot of varsity experience and both sides of the football, I think we'll be able to compete and know what teams like to do and be able to have that game time experience. I think it's very priceless.
Breck moves into the new Independent Metro Athletic Conference this fall, along with Blake, Providence, Minnehaha, St. Paul, and Mounds Park Academies. The 6-team IMAC is a good fit for the Mustangs.
I think it's a good challenge for all of us, every team, and I think it's nice to play schools that are similar to Breck, and I think it's a good competition still as well.
I think when you can go into a game and feel like you're going to be competitive that's going to build your program.
Depth will be a concern for the Mustangs, but a healthy Breck team has a chance to post more wins this season.
Here's a recap of the Mustangs. Breck was 5-5 a year ago. Brooklyn Center High School grad John Martin takes over with 17 total starters coming back. Their season opener is tonight, Friday, against Providence Academy. You can see it live here on Channel 12. And that's a look at sports for today.
All right, thanks, John. Still ahead, the place where dance turns into high-energy acrobatics.
It's one final stop at the fair when we come back.
Combine acrobatic moves, hip-hop dancing, lots of energy, and you have a group called Break Shop Bumpin'.
They're at the State Fair this weekend, as Neil Persley tells us in today's Weekend Showcase.
All required throughout the whole show are smiles.
They're energetic, eclectic, and frenetic. They're Break Shop Bumpin'.
Break Shop Bumping is a family-friendly, acrobatic, spinning, choreo, hip-hop, whacking, fun, fantastic show.
You may want to check these guys out.
It's just exciting and it's energetic and the kids like the music, so they just want to come back every time we're here.
This is team leader Flexum's 10th year performing at the State Fair, but this year also marked a first for the group.
I brought girls this year because it was an all-guy cast last year. This year we brought two new girls, and there's 6 of us.
Second-year member Justin David characterized the group as
passionate about what we do, but we're having fun at the same time. And then we're also just entertaining them, but we're not trying too hard. We're just doing our thing.
Break Shop Bumpin' will be performing 3 shows a day, with a special 4th show over the weekend for all you would-be dancers.
And at the 7 o'clock that we have for Sunday and Monday, we're actually bringing up anybody that wants to learn how to dance. So we'll be teaching on our 4th show.
But don't worry.
It's very simple. We don't have anybody getting hurt. We don't expect you to fly and do triple backflips or anything like that. But yeah, it's fun.
Now, this is the Family Fair stage. It's right off Cosgrove Street, across from the 4-H building and the Fine Arts building. Here you'll find covered seating and free entertainment all weekend long. And this is the stage where Break Shop Bumping will be performing multiple shows throughout the weekend. For Weekend Showcase, I'm Neil Persley.
Break Shop Bumpin' will be performing at 1:30, 4, and 6 on Saturday, and 1:30, 4, 5:30, and 7 on Sunday. And I don't know about the spinning on the head.
He said no one's going to get hurt.
Yeah, but you must have some kind of thing up there other than a knit cap.
Well, yeah.
That's it for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
We'll see you back here on Monday. Community Corner is coming up next.